Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So let's start the weekly analysis. We'll start with Nifty, then we'll go on to BankNifty, and also we'll basically look at all the time frames. Now I'm doing this video on a Thursday because I have to meet some friends on Friday and Saturday. Okay, so I won't be able to upload this video on a Saturday. So let's start. Okay. By the way, if any of you are interested in meeting us, I'm in Bangalore, so you can send me a DM either on YouTube. You can comment below, or best way to reach us is Twitter DMs. Okay, now let's start with the Nifty weekly analysis. See, first thing, when I look at the weekly chart, first thing it tells me is that if this candle closes like this in a bearish manner, okay, tomorrow's Friday, tomorrow's the weekly expiry. Okay, so at any cost I do not want this candle to close like this from the bull's perspective. Okay, if it closes like this from the bull's perspective, you can think of it like a W kind of a breakout. Okay, it gave you the breakout and now it's failing, so this will be a failure. Okay, so those who can't see, it's giving you the breakout and then it's coming down. Okay, triggering all the SLs of the buyers. Okay, so this is good from, when a lot of people are interested in the up move, then it will give you some problems there. So from that perspective, it's good. From the price action perspective, I don't think it's good. Okay, so we need one good weekly candle. It might take another week now, and then we'll capture basically the up move whenever it does show us that it's going to go up. Okay, something like this. Then once we get that candle, I'll tell you that, again, I'm thinking bullish now. By the way, if you check the Nikita's analysis in the last 3 weeks, she has given you most likely a bullish view. Okay, and have been doing good with the bullish view. Okay, last 2-3 weeks. So if you are benefiting from her analysis, please comment below and let us know. Okay, also if you do like our videos, please hit the like button as well. Okay, now let's start. Okay, now enough of time pass. Now let's come to the daily chart. Okay, daily chart, let's talk about Thursday's candle. I'll be uploading this video tomorrow most likely, because I'll get it tomorrow and then you'll know what I'm thinking for the next week. So here it tells me that this is a very strong down move because every day it's breaking the previous day's low. Okay, now we want that pattern to stop. Okay, number one thing that should stop. Okay, we need an inside candle here. That would be a great thing for an up move eventually. Okay, so I think if it's going up now, let's say it's closed at the lowest point of the day. Okay, now I don't think tomorrow we can go and make this kind of a candle upside. I mean, it's going to be really crazy if it does, but logically speaking, I don't think so. At least probability wise, I don't expect it. So what do I expect? If it does go up, I expect, because this candle's range is slightly higher than the other ones. Okay, it's 214 points. And the previous candles, were 122, 177, 180, and so on. Okay, so this is the biggest candle sort of thing. Now, I think we need a pause candle tomorrow. Okay, some pause candle. Or even if it reverses, I expect basically today's high should not be broken tomorrow easily. Okay, it should take one day to wait, and then day after probably it can. Now this whole analysis will go for a toss if some news comes in, because in that case no technical will work and only the news will dominate. Okay, so we've covered that. Now let's come to that part which I think a lot of you do like about the videos. We'll talk a bit about which options I think might go to zero. Okay, so first because it's coming down, let's try to predict most likely where it won't go down. By the way, this is my analysis. Okay, I'm not intending for any of you to copy me. I'm just sharing what I think publicly. Okay, so do consult your financial advisor. Now, I do think that by Tuesday, most likely this 24,600 puts will go to zero. Because I think 24,600 should go to zero, I think 24,500 can be sold. 24,500 is trading at 8 rupees. Okay, and depending on the candle tomorrow, if it's like way too bullish, okay, if it's way too bullish, I'll start thinking 24,800 put also will go to zero. Basically, tomorrow's low, I will start taking bets on that. Okay, if it is a very bullish candle. Apart from that, no. Then I think slightly you have to give some distance, okay, to come down, because it's coming down daily. So I would not be confident coming very close and betting. Okay, here, let's say for example, if I say 24,800 won't come, I mean, it can be broken literally in the first hour tomorrow. So I'll look like a clown, which I don't want to and I don't intend to. So this still I'm telling you some risky, because I think this level should go to zero because there's a mini support here. I would urge you to go and sell this 24,500 put. Okay, most likely this is going to go to zero on the by the way, when I say you, I mean me. Okay, I intend for myself to sell this and make some profits. 24,500 the downside, Now let's talk about the upside. We might find some resistance near 2550 zone. Okay. And for any meaningful buying to occur, we should at least, break the previous day's high at least once, bare minimum. So let's see. Now, depending on tomorrow's candle, if it's basically a small sort of a candle, I would expect this 25,200 as well to go to zero. If it's a green bullish candle, I would not like to bet on 25,200. I would like to go above, because then the calls would have spiked as well, right? Something like 25,400 is $8. Okay. If this spikes tomorrow, okay, the 25,400, I'll look to sell 25,450 or 25,500 depending on the premiums. Okay. Again, this is very different from a weekly analysis because I don't have the weekly candle with me. And tomorrow, basically Friday's candle is always very important from the price action perspective. Now that will probably, if it's a green candle, my weekly view will become bullish. Okay. If it's even it goes lower, then it's strong bearish. Okay. So tomorrow it's a very critical day, I would say. Let's see. Now, because there are less premiums in the current week, only 2-3 sessions are left. I would think in the next, the 7th October expiry, I think, okay, eventually this 7th August, 6th August lows, 24,350 puts, okay, 2 weeks later, most likely if you get a good candle, you can start betting on these, okay. This is 21 rupees. It will become lower when you get a good candle, but that would be a level I would start betting at with high probability. So keep this expiry in mind. Keep your 7th October expiry in mind. You can probably target 25,600 and 25,650, any of these, and that put 24,300 or 24,150 or whatever you're comfortable with. Depends on what you're used to. I would say instead of taking a gamble and going for a probability kind of a profit, go for something you are sure about, because then money will flow into the account. It's okay if it's not the most amount of money, I would say. Kuch to banana hi hai par, okay. So let's that is done. Now what shall we do? Let's go on the 15-minute time frame. Today's expiry, okay. The down move was fairly easy, I would say, okay, to know that a down move will come. The call premiums weren't decaying that much today, okay, but basically it was at the support waiting, okay, pehle, and post waiting, then it has broken with the M formation, lower low sort of formation. So this is fairly easy. Support broke, okay, after a pause, then most likely it will not reverse, okay. So the probability of it coming up and closing day high is very low that time, okay. So these are very small tricks I'm telling you which will work, because I know these tricks work because I've backtested them. So if you go and check, this will most likely work. Now 15 minutes, okay, the best thing that would happen is, see, we have this resistance. The resistance is 25,000, round number. Now ideally what should happen, okay, for a up move to sustain, it should not just run away, because if it runs away, then it may again come down, okay, then you might get scared. What ideally we want something sort of a W pattern here. It comes and it goes up. Whatever happens tomorrow, I would like some kind of a pause or an up move, then a down move, and then finally I would like a higher high. Okay, in simpler terms, I want a higher high. Okay, if that higher high is gotten, I think then you can start taking more risk on those puts. Okay, because see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 continuous days of down move in a bullish market, basically when the view is bullish. Okay, this should reverse quickly within 2-3 days. I think it should. I think already it's like down quite a bit. But let's see. What we should not do. Basically, we should not think it's like 6 candles and now it has to go up. So tomorrow market khulte hi will start buying. That should not happen. You have to let one day go. Okay, let it make up some price action on some daily chart, because only then we'll start to know that does it want to go up or no. So I've given you the next week's plan. I've given you the current week ka which options I think should go to zero. Let me know if I'm forgetting anything, okay, by the way. Now see, I've opened BankNifty. I've come on the weekly chart. Now this is Nikita's basically trend line. Okay, market is respecting that level. You can see in the larger time frame, okay. So now what we want ideally, we do want, this will be an exceptional thing to happen. If it makes an inside candle, let it make it, okay. It's actually very good if it does make it, BankNifty, because then when it breaks out on the upside, we can capture it again. Or even the downside, we can start capturing it. Inside candle basically gives you an entry opportunity which is not existent, okay, currently. Let's say if it's going to go down, we can't capture it logically speaking from the weekly chart just because it's going down, okay. You need something to happen to enter a trade. So this gives you an entry point, okay. Then you can start applying context and logics as to whether this is a good location or not, these are good premiums or not, and basically your general conviction, okay. So now I would love if BankNifty does not break its last week's low. I would love it for close in a inside candle sort of a thing. If it breaks upside, simply I'm just going to trade this inside candle, okay. If it breaks out, I'll just take a buying trade. Anyways, my view is upside. You remember I had told you once, I told you that Nikita has told me that she thinks Bank Nifty is going to very soon go to 62,000. You know, we end up taking bets on her conviction many times because she's better at this thing than me. Now, if that thing is true, 62,000 should come. It won't happen, you know, that, you know, 1 year it's not going to go there. Most likely it will go there. Now so general view I've told you, I think it's going to go up. Okay. Now, if it is going to go up, my thing is I just want to capture the upside. So if it comes down, Bank Nifty especially, I'm not interested to play it. So this gives me an entry opportunity because my view is 62,000 because of her. Okay. And now we can capture this when it breaks above 55,600, which is the current week's high itself. Okay, that will be my indication to go long again here. Via strategies, via, you know, futures. I think, you know, you should work on futures because if you solve that part properly, you know, that can easily add around 5 to 10% ROI every year for you if you learn to capture some trades from futures. Now, we have a knack of doing that, you know, every year. Even if options, let's say, is not going great, that bails us out. So this is I'm just giving you some logic as to how we think and how we plan. Okay. So I've told you my long-term plan. I do think it will go up because she thinks it will go up. And even generally, I do think it should go up. So we discussed that long-term plan. We discussed the weekly chart. We discussed it would be great if it does not break the last week's high and low. Now let's go to the daily chart. Actually, you know, let's skip Bank Nifty and discuss Sensex because, you know, Sensex expiry, I have heard a lot of people are trading. Bank Nifty, you know, very few people like me would be interested in it. And I'm too interested in the long-term view of it, not day-to-day view. Okay, Sensex, let's start. Same thing, okay, strong down move again. Never catch a falling knife. Wait, okay, have that patience, okay. Wait for one candle to close. If this one candle closes inside candle, bang on, okay, perfect. This is what we want, okay. Then we can see what kind of candles is it making to go up. If it's good, if it fits our backtest, we'll enter on the upside. Otherwise, we'll just wait. Even if you don't capture the down move, no, I'll tell you, it's very simple to capture up moves. What people try to do, I've seen multiple times, they want to capture the up move and the down move. So they are always in that guessing game कि ऊपर ये top है, ये bottom है, ये top है. तो उसमें end of the year में if you check, no, मिलेगा कुछ नहीं. Rather, I think stick to one thing. Okay, let's say I want to capture up move. Okay, now wait. Let's say if it's coming down, wait. You don't need to capture the down move also, up move also. Till then, what you can do, you can sell options. Okay, if it's coming down, you can start selling call options and make some money. If you think this is a good support, okay, if you get good premiums here, 79,700 for example, you can sell these options as well. Okay, it's a double bottom. So this again, price whenever it comes here, it bounces. Okay, it bounces. The third time also if it comes, it may not bounce as much as the last two times, but it has to bounce a little bit at least. Plan your entries accordingly near supports, okay, if you can. The same thing, if it gives an inside candle, good thing for us, okay. If it has to go up, we have to wait for a strong candle. We can't enter just because I'm telling you it's been too long since it's falling. So now when can we do that? Let's try in the 15 minutes. Again, the down move for today, I'll tell you fairly simple. I've done the backtest. If you want to trust me, you can. Otherwise, you can do the backtest yourself. Basically, whenever you have a support, okay, and it basically irritates you in the morning by not moving, post that it will break some important support or resistance, and then you can capture a down move. For example, this is a support for me and it's making lower lows consistently. Okay, so the lower lows are, okay, you can see this. Okay, so this way you can get trapped. You know, you may not be trapped. If someone got trapped to play an up move today, yeah, I don't think you needed to. So I'm not going to check the premiums because that will make the video too long. I've already told you that for Nifty, my plan, and I'm not interested in Sensex because the one time when it does spike this index, it will take away much more than what it does give you. So instead, rather focus on Nifty. The backtest becomes easier, okay, when you focus on one instrument as well. And also the behavior also, you become in tune with it then after some time. So same level which I told you was a support, okay, let's say 81,700. When the price makes higher high above this zone, okay, this will be my bullish cue. It will be that, you know, it did break the support. It did go down as well. Now it has come up to take the resistance and still it's not going to come down from there. It will make a higher high. Okay, so this is another great point to enter a bullish trade. Okay, I think so. So 81,700 ke upar, we'll try to target some bullish move. Varna, not interested, okay, as I told you. Definitely from a shorting perspective, you should not be very interested, I think. Because you can short it and keep the recent highest stops. But I don't find, if I backtest these, I don't find great opportunities here, logically. So if it does not work in the backtest, why would I expect it to work in the future? So I've told you what has to happen if it has to go up. I've also told you that, okay, so let's talk about a down move. So it has given us a cue that it wants to go down, both Nifty and Sensex. Okay, now only above the resistance will we know that it wants to go up, but it may go up and make another lower low. For that, I really do think you should lower your quantity now if it does go down. See, premiums weren't even spiking today. When you in Nifty, if you check, the premiums on the put side weren't even spiking. That tells me that the fear is not there on the downside. So let's see how that translates to in the future days. I think an up move should come from here. Let's see. Well, if it does not work, okay, we'll see, because probably I'm trying out something different. Now, what else is left? Let's go for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you know, it has broken out from the ATH and is now consolidating, okay, within the last price zone. But if I check properly, it has given me an M pattern here. And the M has also failed. The sellers are also not in control now. Buyers are also not in control. I find it in a sideways kind of a zone, Bitcoin. Okay. So I don't have too much to add. What I do want to add is the last swing high. Okay. Because this is a bullish territory. It's an ATH zone. Okay. And when it does take out the previous swing high, I can again at least try for an up move. Okay. Unless the price goes below this ATH level, I wouldn't feel comfortable talking about some bearish moves here. Okay, so I'll wait for that. Let's wait in Bitcoin also. How much capital you deploy? I mean, and what percentage is your daily target or weekly or monthly expectations? Asking to know what to expect as lower capital fetch lesser rewards, as asking what should be the expectation. First of all, lower capital will always fetch a higher reward percentage wise, because when you have lesser capital, you're not afraid of losing it. I'll give you an example. If you have 10 lakhs, okay, if you lose 10 lakhs in the market, what can you do? You can work your job for a few years. Even if you have a very low salary, within 3 years, you will recoup that amount, okay? But let's say I'm deploying 10 crore, for example. If I lose it, then no matter what job I do, there's no job logically which I can enter now within 3 years, which will give me 10 crore. So my risk-taking ability will go down. To answer your question, in all my trades, I always deploy the entire capital most of the times. I would say most of the times I do that. What percentage is my target? Weekly, it's 0.75. Okay. Been mentioning this since a while, but it's gotten lost in the comments. Nifty Pharma looks like the perfect time to enter. It's within an upward moving channel. Okay, let's see. This basically a down move happened after that. I mean, it's not your fault, but yeah, you were correct in the sense that, you know, it was consolidating and then it gave a breakout. So to take a chance was a logical thing to do here. So it's okay. No worries. No, if you're telling me from a trading perspective or an investing perspective, okay? By the way, I don't even know that. Okay, so let's take this comment. Just a comment on the topic of buying hedges and unlimited losses. I take naked positions at the beginning of the week and buy hedges after they have cheapened. See, when you, let's say I'm getting a setup, okay, for now, for like tomorrow's Friday, for example, tomorrow I got a setup. I got, you know, a bearish setup, for example. I'm saying now the market won't go up. Now I can sell that option and I can buy some leverage on it. But if I find the leverage to be expensive, it won't help me too much. But the risk will double up. Okay. That's the first part of this. Recently, I think they've, even if you take leverage, the ROI you will make has gone lower, I think so, than earlier. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it has gone lower. Now, I think most of the times when I was checking this backtest, you know, I would actually love it if you were correct, because then that would mean I would make more returns. You are saying that you can sell options and buy hedges after they have cheapened, but even my sell option would have cheapened, right? And I don't have too many setups, let's say in a sideways kind of a week. I might just get one entry. I might just get 2 entries, and by the time this hedge has cheapened, the sell option has cheapened, which makes it pointless for me to take leverage. Then I'll have to come very close, which I don't have a setup for. So I only want to sell the option which my setup tells me to, number one. Number two, that level should be agreed with me. For example, if I think the stock's at 100 and 95 should go to 0, for example, on the put side, and the hedge to be bought for that is, let's say, 90, for example purposes. If 90 decays, 95 also most likely will decay. If 90 has decayed and we want to buy it, selling 95 won't make any sense logically. So instead of selling 95, then you'll have to sell 97, 98, something like that. Okay. For me, there's no setup which tells me to sell 97 strike or 98 strike. I only have something to tell me for 95. So whenever a setup does trigger for me, that is the time I want to take leverage. Okay. Also, one needs to look at the P&L over a longer period of time to understand the impact of hedging costs and hits from black swan events. You're absolutely true. There is zero evidence. There is anyone who has taken hedges has not gotten screwed or improved their ROIs. Zero evidence there. I've basically had this debate with everyone. Basically, they will only win this debate if a black swan does happen, and a lot of traders get screwed with that. Apart from that, they'll never win this debate. Trust me. And that's 50-50 chance any which ways for that as well. We'll skip that, okay, because it's controversial. Yes, you covered a very important point that your losses may increase if you increase position size due to margin benefit from hedges. This is fine. If my setup tells me to enter, I'm okay with even losing double the amount I wanted to, because it's a setup. What I'm not okay with, if let's say I'm targeting a let's say 1% return, if I'm buying the hedge, the only incremental return I'm going to get is 1.2 and the risk went to 2%. Okay, I'm not okay with this, because when I win I get 0.2, when I lose 1% extra on top of what I was going to get. Okay, I hope that actually cleared what I wanted to say. Can you please shed some light on how to manage your positions with the additional ELM margin on expiry day? You can't do anything. You basically just take positions normally. Okay, you have to get that correct. For example, Tuesday is the expiry. The Monday to Tuesday trade, you have to get it correct, because I also really like that trade. If you get that correct, you will make good money. And most likely, I'm going to book it by 9:30. Otherwise, my broker will start to book it at 9:35 and all. And I'm sometimes scared, let's say I have futures, okay, to release the margin. I hope he doesn't cut that future for some option. So I by default try to eliminate, get out of my positions by 9:30. Okay, the ELM, that's how I tackle it. I always take 100% positions one day prior. I think you won't be charged penalty, because at least my broker doesn't do it, and another broker I know doesn't do it. So for majority also it should be the same. Which broker to use? Which broker do you folks use to trade? Okay, we use Stocko because it's the least brokerage. Okay, it's 2.9 rupees per order. Okay, and that's the cheapest plan. So Zerodha is 20 rupees per order. Okay, and you get probably 10 times cheaper brokerage almost than Zerodha. So why wouldn't you go to Stocko? It makes, people with the capital that I have, it's financial stupidity to go to any other broker and pay. People are really proud, they paid 1 crore, 50 lakh brokerage, 40 lakh brokerage, 10 lakh, and the capital is also not even as big as mine. So I'm like wondering, how are they paying so much brokerage? I really save quite a lot of money because of my broker. Which one do you prefer, selling strikes in a bi-weekly expiry or a weekly expiry? Very good question. See, I'll tell you, this is a very good question. Now let me answer this. I don't know which week I had done this in. Okay, so let's take, I remembered. Let's take this down move for example, okay? I was very confident here in this down move that this 24,300 put will go to zero. If not, check my, I might have posted 23rd to 24th August ko my video. Go and check that on YouTube. So I might have told you that I think basically this resistance will go to zero, 25,400, and this support will go to zero, 24,300, okay? At this time, 23rd August, I might have told you that. So if the premiums are damn good in the current week, I will just sell these and capture. And I also remember I had told you uske 1 week baad ke you were getting huge distance. For example, you were getting this 25,600 option and this 24,200 kind of an option with very good distance basically. So if the premiums are very good in the bi-weekly option, you can go there, because if one day pause also you make huge money then. Varna, see for example, if this down move, okay, if I'm not confident, let's say, of where the market will take a support from or where the market will turn from, let's say I'm not confident. Okay, then what I'll do, I'll be like, okay, I'll wait. Okay, I'll wait for when I'll become confident. So till that time, I'll bide my time playing the weekly. So most of the times you're going to play weekly. I would say 80% of the times you should play weekly. 20% of the times, if you do have conviction, if you have done any back testing on the technicals, if you have some setups, then I think bi-weekly में advantage उठा सकते फिर easily you can do it bi-weekly, क्योंकि distance बहुत ज़्यादा मिलता है फिर उसमें, तो डर नहीं लगता. How do you decide stop loss? Suppose you sell put or call premium of 10, what will be a stop loss? Level based stops are the best, I would say, because now that injections also have stopped, so level based I would say are the best. Varna, I think to manage your risk effectively, you should generally keep your stop loss at double the premium you've sold. If you are getting that stop hit multiple times, okay, for example, you're selling, your example you spoke about 10 rupees. If your 10 is going to 20k upper multiple times, your 10 ka entry is only nonsense then. So your entries have to be improved drastically then. So this 10 should not be going to 20 frequently. Okay, sometimes it's okay because you're not God, you're not going to get everything correct. But if it's frequently happening, then something's wrong with your entries. You should work a lot on your entries. Naked option selling is very risky as it exposes one to the possibility of infinite loss. It's not clear to me why you avoid taking hedges. This infinite loss, for that to happen, you have to do the math what should happen. Now, I mean, if you think tomorrow a lower circuit will happen and day after a lower circuit will happen and uske baad also lower circuit will happen and everyone's going to become bankrupt, then I don't share the same view. For example, I am very comfortable not buying hedges because I've done the math for it. Unless I have a setup, okay, which I really want to take risk on, for me, taking a hedge makes no logical sense because even on the time when it does gap down, it doesn't help you. Okay, I've seen it with my friends who take hedges. They lost even more than me. I find it very funny. Okay, now I don't want to take names. They are very big traders also. I find it stupidity, like they keep arguing with me and then they lose even more than me when the gap happens. So the only possibility of them losing less than me is if the black swan happens actually. And you can only account for what has happened. Matlab, if you keep basically घर के बाहर निकल के if you keep planning भाई ये भी कार मारेगी वो भी कार मारेगी तो फिर I mean you will be safe, but how will you make money then? I mean I understand that you will say then that you why don't you hedge and make money then, but it's very difficult for me when I try to hedge my positions. I'm unable to generate the ROIs I want. I need to take risk. For that risk, I do take naked option selling. There is also no positional trader who does hedge who does great. I would also go as far as saying that. At least to my knowledge, no one comes to mind who does hedging. The only exception to this is, let's not take his name, but there's only one exception to this. And his thing is he's a very good trader. He's a Gujarati guy. He always takes a hedge. Most of you probably know who I'm talking about, but yeah, he's probably the only exception to this because he's a proper aggressive trader. In his like blood, there's a lot of aggression. Apart from that, I've not seen anyone who does hedging and effectively and they make good money. I don't know anyone. You didn't get my point last time regarding the hedge. I didn't ask to sell 22 rupees premium in place of 12, but to double the quantity for the same strike by selling with hedge. Please read comments carefully. Okay, ठीक है, चलो. I don't recall what she said. Okay, I've forgotten it. But basically, your point has been noted. And we do take some, I would not say hedge. We do take leverage by buying some cheap OTMs and sell double the quantity. वो करते हैं हम. We definitely do that. But we do that during a setup and not every setup because every setup doesn't deserve that kind of top-notch respect. Okay, some setups are too good. Okay, उसके लिए आँख बंद करके also you can sell. So on those things, I think you can take leverage. Apart from that, I mean, you may not agree with me, but at least for me, I'm not going to listen to anyone. I'll only do what logically makes sense to me. The traders I have liked since I've started entering into trading, the two best traders I would say who are my favorites, both don't hedge. Both are naked option sellers. Both are aggressive. Only one is trend following and one is adjust guy. Okay, that's it. I think I don't have any good queries. Okay, here. So that was it for today's video. Let me know if this Thursday thing works out or no. Also, yeah, I've told you I'm in Bangalore for a couple of days. If anyone wants to meet us, let us know. And do comment below, okay, the feedback, okay, for this video. Like whatever it is, I would love to know what I might have forgotten and what I can improve, okay, for the next time. So that's it. Probably I'll make the video next week and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.